Welcome back, everybody, to Two Deeds and No Waiting. My name is Dean.
My name is Dean.
Thank you for joining us again for another action-packed week of what's new in the news. So much just going on. Where do we start off? From the transgender shooter to...
Transgender shooter?
Yeah. The shooting that happened.
The Catholic one?
Yeah.
That was a transgender?
You have to quit listening to mainstream media, bro.
No, listen to any mainstream
okay.
media. I don't know
They
what you're
didn't tell
talking
you-
I didn't really look into it because I've been so tired.
All right. Okay, well, he was transgender, and which I wanted to start off with something else, but we can start off with this right away. The gloves are off, and there they go. So, the mainstream corporate media tried to cover this up, and you know what they tried saying, and they got caught? It's all about who controls the narrative, and they want to control the narrative. So the narrative they were pushing was they wanted to say he was a straight white male. No, he wasn't straight, he was a transgender. And the other thing that bugged me, and it's going to bug you, was
this all bugs me.
No, this really is going to bug you.
This is what bugs me
because this is what they said. Okay, they said that he had a hatred for Jews, and 6 million Jews wasn't enough. So then, if you're anti-Semitic, why are you attacking a church? That was a part of that was bullshit.
Odd. That's odd.
That's bullshit because it's not true. They were caught in a lie. I don't know if so. You don't know much about it.
No,
but this happened yesterday.
All I knew is that they were dead. That this guy went cuckoo and shot in Minneapolis.
I think it's all MK Ultra, man. The last 6 shooters, that were involved in, perpetrating crimes were transgender. How ironic that now all of a sudden we go from white straight males 20 years ago to doing this, to attacking public schools. Now we have, it just fits the narrative. The left and the right, they're going at it, And at the end of the day, Americans are more balkanized, more divided, more scared. But you can't listen to the corporate media, man. They just are never saying the truth.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it's transgender.
Yeah, and they were trying to cover that up.
Why were they trying to cover that up?
Because they're trying to cover it up because they don't...
How about you just report the news?
They don't do that.
How about
Right.
that? That'd be nice, huh?
We're more honest than they are.
Oh, yeah, we definitely are, because we don't even know what we're doing.
Maybe that's what they need. They don't. Right. That's
they
exactly
need 2 monkeys
what
like
they
us.
Need. Maybe. But when you got multinational corporations that want to push an idea,
Well, you know what though,
or push for whatever.
How about? Well, we need some type of gun reform.
I don't think it has anything to do with guns.
We've got to have something. We have to do something.
Okay, well then,
they're not doing anything.
Okay, well, yeah, but
there are more guns in this country than people.
Okay, but this is the thing. You're going after the same old talking topics that the far left are throwing out there.
What
about
care
the antipsychotic drugs that these kids are on, that these doctors are pushing?
Well, okay.
Even Bernie Sanders
should look into that too. Absolutely.
That's the number one thing for me. How funny! But
it is very easy to go get a gun. We can go get one right now.
Okay, yeah, I know, but okay, all right, now.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I mean, come on.
That's an old talking point that really, and they keep coming up with regulations and rules, and yet still people are.
What regulations and rules?
Hold on. Oh, are you serious? It's much harder to get a gun today than it was 20 years ago. Although I'm not going to make this a gun topic.
I don't want to make it a gun topic either, but that is a huge problem.
Hold on. The other huge problem is the antipsychotic drugs that they're giving these teens.
No, I agree.
They're making them think they can be anything they want. Right. This guy was weaponized. This kid.
I've been told that my whole life, and here I am with you.
Yeah, exactly. But you haven't ended up shooting anybody yet.
No.
But this is what I'm talking about. These kids have been weaponized, okay? The same way all of us have been weaponized one way or another. And they're using these kids as pawns to establish more division in this country. I do believe the whole world is a stage. This was orchestrated. Definitely, this happened. It wasn't fake, but what is fake is what the media tries to tell you, which they already were caught in a lie, trying to deny that he was a transgender, trying to say that he was involved with neo-Nazis and all this other crap, just to justify the killings going on in the Middle East. We don't want to talk about that later.
Yeah.
But
we are.
How do you stop this? I don't know. You can't really stop crime. See, look, what I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, then I give you time to rebuttal what I think they should do. Okay. I think there should be some type of security, armed security,
At schools?
At schools, yes, definitely. If you have armed security in banks, why can't you have them in schools? Now, they don't really, there has to be some type of like I used to deliver to William Clay Ford, because I was in a courier service. You know William Clay Ford, right?
Well, he died.
Well, his son.
Oh, Junior.
Yeah, I'm talking 20 years ago. I didn't go directly to his house. I didn't have access to that, but I went indirectly, and there was a guard. This is what we need. Once these schools close at 8 o'clock, there has to be a checkpoint where you drive up and you go to a guard, and you're maybe 20 feet from the school. You're not in near the school, and there has to be a guard, an armed guard, at one checkpoint and at the other. You have it. You have to. What else are we going to do? These kids are sitting targets. I'm not saying this is going to happen every day. I know there's a lot of fear going on now. I have a lot of stake in this because I got a 7-year-old daughter.
All right.
I know you don't. Your kids
No,
are older,
no, that
which is
doesn't
great.
matter. That doesn't matter.
No, it really affects me. And I know this was a private school, and it seems like lately that's the topic. It's like they're attacking Christians.
I have nieces and their children, and you know, no, this affects everybody. It affects everyone.
Armed security. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think I'm against that.
Okay, that's good.
To be honest with you, but I mean, and I'm not so naive to think that, hey, let's change the law so it takes a little bit longer to get this gun. I mean, okay, so we do that, and then the guy waits 2 weeks and then does it. But why is it so easily for him to go there to get one now? And that may not have been the case. He probably already had these guns. I understand that, but I mean, we have to do something.
Okay,
As far as this guard goes, I mean, that's going to be interesting too. There's usually more than one way to get into a school.
You have
That's
checkpoints.
number one. There's more than one guard then.
You should, yes, of course.
I mean, we had
You shouldn't be able to get to the school after 8 o'clock.
And
Once those doors, no, I'm talking
in the morning.
I'm talking in the morning.
Okay.
Once school starts at whatever time it starts, you shouldn't be able to just walk up to the school. There should be some kind of checkpoint.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
You know what?
Okay. Who are you and what are you doing here?
This is proactive. This is something. This is doing something.
Exactly.
They have done nothing.
Exactly.
So far.
Right. And
nothing.
And
This has been since Columbine. When did that happen?
99, 98.
98? That happened in 98,
Right.
and nothing has been done. That's almost 30 years.
Okay, so this is something else you talked about. I don't think somebody who's a transgender or somebody that has a mental condition should get a gun.
A transgender can't have a gun.
Oh, hold
We've
on.
got transgenders in the armed forces.
Okay, but he doesn't know what gender he is. That's not a problem.
No, he knows what gender he is.
No, transgenders usually think that they're, okay, I'm a male, but I think I'm a female.
No.
It's a mental illness.
No, I don't think that's a mental illness.
You don't think that's a mental illness?
I do not.
So you think that you're a man, well, you're a man physically, but you think you're a woman. That's not a problem.
Well, no, I don't think that. I don't think that.
You want to stop all Americans from getting guns. I say we stop people that have issues from getting guns. That's what I'm saying. So you're okay with, somebody like me getting a gun to protect my house, but then this sick son of a bitch who doesn't know what gender he is, sure, give him a gun. That's the problem right there.
No.
Oh, you just said it right there in a hand. No. How is that not a problem?
I do not agree with that.
Okay, this goes back to the far left and their ideology.
Okay, let's hold on
what they
here.
think, well, you can be anything you want.
Hold on.
You're a tree, you're a dog.
Hold on.
Lift up your leg and piss anywhere you want.
Listen, the tree and the dog stuff, that is stupid and needs to be addressed as well. But this transgender stuff is, okay, so the guy
is... It's a problem. He's got a problem.
The guy is male, and he feels that he should have been born female.
And this guy should have a gun.
And if he so chooses, he's an American, right?
Well, okay, so
Mr. Second Amendment.
So you're
doesn't say anything about mental illness in the Constitution.
Hold on. But you're willing to take away guns from people that are normal, the people that don't have issues,
normal,
and give it to people.
First off, I didn't say anything about taking away anybody's guns. I said let's make it harder to get one. That's all I said.
Apparently-
What's the matter with the 2-week
Apparently,
background check on someone?
I'm not saying there's a problem with that.
Okay, then that's not happening.
But-
That's all I said. I didn't say anything else. I didn't say let's take away your guns.
There's a lot of people that are saying that.
Well,
George.
I did not.
And they're like talking, they're double talking and saying, "Oh yeah,
I'm
we
not
need
double
this," and then the
talking.
next thing you know,
You
you
think
can't.
that people
Look,
that
I don't think
are transgender
I
have
don't
a
think-
mental illness. I don't
yes,
think that.
I think that there's something wrong with them. If you were born a man, and you think you're a woman, there's something wrong with you.
I don't.
Just like if you hear voices in your head.
I don't agree.
It calls you a schizophrenic. So then what's the difference between somebody who is a schizophrenic and thinks he can sees a person here and he's talking to him and there's nobody there, but he says that
That's a
there's somebody
personality
here.
disorder.
That's a disorder. It's a disorder to say that I'm
Gender-
something I'm not.
Gender dysphoria? Dysmorphia? Is that what it is?
If I walked around thinking I was Napoleon, they'd lock me up.
Okay. Maybe.
All right.
Maybe not.
But
It
it's a-
depends. If you don't do anything illegal, why would they lock you up?
Well, this guy already did something illegal.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead, and apparently he shoots himself. But I think he was weaponized, and I think people on the left are weaponized, just like people on the right. And it's a part of the game that look up MK Ultra. I think it's a part of that plan to divide the country even more, to cause more fear. And they'd like to use these people as a pawn to establish an idea or an ideology.
Well, I just don't think that being transgender makes you mentally ill.
I think being transgender says you're confused. You're confused, and if
I don't
you're
think they're confused at all.
and
They want to be a woman, or they want to be a man.
They wanna be a
Whatever
woman,
way
they
it
wanna be a
goes.
man.
Well, we disagree to disagree. Then we're gonna
That's
we're gonna
fine.
go
That's
talk
fine.
in circles the whole time here. But
I get it. But you're talking about regulating guns. I'm saying get guns out of the hands of the wrong people. That's all I'm saying.
okay, that too. Let's do something. They're not even doing that.
No,
You know how they got that gun away from that guy?
I'm
He was
concerned.
killed. He killed himself.
Well,
That's it.
That's what they say.
Well, or they killed him. I don't
Whatever.
know. But
I don't know. But he's dead
He's
or
dead
whatever.
now.
This is something that it's just going to keep happening. We're going to keep talking about it, and like you said,
Unfortunately,
we're
yeah.
talking in circles. That's how I feel. Instead of punishing the whole country by regulating guns even more, which you can, I'm not totally against what you said.
I don't think that's a
But
big
it's-
deal.
But it's
As a matter of fact,
but it's more than just guns. We have mental illness involved. We also have people that are on antipsychotic drugs at an early age. Most of these shooters, like Dylan, what was his name? Dylan
yeah.
Roof. Right.
Dylan Roof?
How many
was-
antipsychotic pills was he on before he snapped?
I don't know.
Let's make that an issue too.
It could be. Yeah. I mean,
Throw that in there also, along with the.
Well,
I don't
mental
know
health-
what gender I am or.
mental health. Yeah, absolutely. Because there's no more institutions because Reagan got rid of all of them.
Well, maybe they should bring those back.
I don't see why that would be a problem.
Okay, and then put somebody like that in there to do more. And I don't mean shock therapy because that ain't going to do
No,
anything.
not shock therapy.
Some
not
people are probably thinking that.
not Kellogg.
Yeah. Dr. Kellogg did a lot of that crap.
Dr. Kellogg.
Yeah, whatever. He was like Dr. Mengele, Dr. Frankenstein, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I mean by
Right.
doctor.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
But this problem is it's horrific. I mean, my heart goes out to these children,
Right.
To the parents of these children. Not only the ones that passed away, but the ones that are alive still. They're traumatized. They're going to be traumatized for the rest of their lives.
I know.
I mean,
It's horrible.
it is absolutely horrible.
I'm surprised
And
I'm surprised you didn't hear. You just kind of me. Sometimes I hear something and go, oh,
Well,
watch it for 2 minutes and then forget about it. And
well, the problem is, like I said, I've been very tired lately, and unfortunately, this is happening all the time now, and it's like
there's a pattern.
it's just like it's almost to where there was a shooting again. Oh, okay, it's not good.
No,
This is nuts. It's becoming normal, and it's bad.
I think these kids are trained to kill. I think it's a part of the plan here. There's a bigger picture here because this is happening, and notice how now the narrative has changed. Now they're weaponized. Before it was white straight males that were living in upper middle class suburban homes. Now it seems like it's happening to the kids that are far left that are confused with what gender they are. That's not an accident. and they're weaponizing these kids.
Maybe, I don't know. What's this, the second transgender shooting?
MK, I think there's maybe 4 or 5.
Well, okay, we can still count on one hand.
MK Ultra. People,
yeah.
for you people don't know what that is, and you're listening, look up what MK Ultra is. That's what I think it is. I'm not saying it's phony. I'm saying this is real.
Well,
but there's an agenda.
Maybe, but
Just look up MK Ultra.
somebody said to me, this don't happen in other countries. Well, other countries don't have the Second Amendment that people hide behind either.
Now, other countries aren't doing the antipsychotic drugs like we are either.
Well, they might be.
No, they're not doing it like we are. We are, and you bring up something important, okay? We are one of the only countries in the world. There are only, 300 million people? We're not make up even 5% of the people on this planet, and we use 95% of the prescription drugs.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta throw that in there.
That might be,
and a lot
yeah.
of these kids that are
That could be
seeing
part of it.
psychiatrists, that are getting prescribed these medications, that their brains haven't fully developed, okay? So they're giving a lot of these antipsychotic pills to kids that probably don't need them, is not a good thing.
Right.
And
No,
you
no.
got to understand, we are one of the only countries in the world that does that with the genetically modified food and the environment. You can throw all that in there and say that's a problem that other countries don't do.
Right.
Besides the Second Amendment. That's just one thing.
Well, that's a huge thing, and it's misinterpreted.
People have access
It's for militia.
to guns in Canada. People have
Oh, yeah.
access to guns in
Yeah,
Canada.
because
I
they-
dated a Canadian for 4 years, and her cousin had more guns than any redneck I know down
They're
here.
all rifles, right?
Or rifles, handguns. It doesn't matter. You could still kill people.
Well, no, I
with
understand that,
rifles
but
and
I mean-
handguns. Did he have a
There's supposed to be-
AR-16? I don't know. I can't remember. But he had
What's that,
tons of
7?
weapons.
That's an AR-15.
AR-15 or whatever. That tells you how experienced I am
Well,
with guns.
the thing of it is for hunting and all that stuff. Absolutely, I don't have a problem with that. But these,
But you still can kill with those.
Well,
weapons,
absolutely, yeah.
Whether it's 3 people or 10.
and I'm saying I'm not against guns. What I'm against is the fact that when something happens bad with a gun, nothing happens. Nobody does anything. That's my problem. Let's do something. So I think it was New Zealand.
I think the security thing is a good thing.
That's yeah. I'm all
Do
for
you
that.
agree?
Why not?
I-
Yeah, let's protect our children.
Let's right away. Okay, this isn't something that you need executive order to do.
No, you don't.
Or you don't have to ban a million, whatever. You don't have to go through that red tape. This is something that parents can get together and say, hey, we want we want more security. We want an access point to where you can't get like 30, 40 feet within the school unless you have authorization.
Right.
Or
What I've been
you have some
noticing-
reason to be there.
What I've been noticing is like the school I used to go to when I was in elementary school it now has a fence around the whole complex. There's a fence. So I mean that's something. But if you go through it or
Right.
climb over it,
We need
I
some.
don't think anything happens. But
We need armed guards. Armed guards.
now
armed
here's
guards.
a problem with that. How are you gonna pay for it? We can't even get people to pay for crayons for crying out loud.
You want to know something? They always find a way to take our
I'm
money.
just saying, I
They-
know,
you what,
isn't that
could be-
amazing?
that could be tax dollars. That could be tax dollars they use my tax dollars to good fucking use
Yes,
instead
yes.
of putting it in your pocket.
No, I agree. Yeah, no, absolutely. But I'm just trying to tell you. I mean, right now, the kids don't even get crayons and paste.
I know, it's bullshit.
And we're supposed to be. It is bullshit. Where's all this casino and lottery money going to?
Yeah, exactly. You win $10 million and they take 50%. Where does that money go to? Israel?
I think they take a little bit more than 50.
They take a lot.
Doesn't matter. Where's that money going? That's
I know.
what. Yeah, it's supposed to be going to the schools.
I hear you.
I mean, that's the commercials I always see, and this is good for the schools. Let's build these casinos because the schools will benefit.
Right,
No,
right.
nothing like that of the sort has happened.
No, of course not.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I know it is, and we bring up some good talking.
Okay.
We probably bring up better talking points than they ever do.
Well, and then okay.
You were gonna say
so,
something.
No, I'm getting back to our taxes again. So as far as protecting children goes, so Netanyahu has killed I don't know how many kids, but at least
just read an
60,000.
article.
Is it at least 60,000 people?
Man,
That's it. That's at a minimum.
that's
60 grand.
That's conservative.
Yeah, I'm being very conservative because I don't know, but I'm telling you, it's at least 60,000 people this time.
Right.
Not counting all the other times and whatever he's doing right now. But our money is going to Israel. I think
course.
we've given we give them like 30 million a year
Oh,
or
easy.
more.
Easy.
300 million a year, something like
Easy,
that.
easy.
I'd have to look it up, to be honest with you. It doesn't
Right.
matter what the number is. It's a lot of money. Now, if you look at their economy, it's one of the best in the world.
I know, isn't that something?
Also, they have universal health care.
Oh, ooh, wow.
So if
Man.
you get hurt over there, they take care of you. It costs you nothing because the United States is putting a bill up. I mean, I'm all for universal health care, but you do it with your own money, especially if you have a nice economy like they do. They have a very, very good economy.
Of course they do. Netanyahu was bragging about it the other day, how great the economy
Right.
was. Well, yeah, the only reason why they do get those tax dollars and that extra money is because of American tax dollars.
Why are we paying for them when we owe, what was it, 4 point whatever trillion dollars now we're in debt? This is ridiculous. We've got to stop this. We have to stop AIPAC, and this is not anti-Semitic. Why are we making their economy great while ours is floundering? I don't understand this at all.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
So,
and they don't give a shit.
We have to stop AIPAC. We need to do something legislatively. I don't know. I don't know what to do. This is insane to me. They need to stop. All I can think of is bombard your representatives and your senators with emails, phone calls, whatever you can do to tell them, look, I'm tired of paying for Israel. Why are we paying for Israel?
The same politicians that are bought out by AIPAC.
Now, listen to this, though. Okay, so if they were a third world country and we're helping them out, helping them to get on their feet or whatever.
We don't help third world countries.
I'm just saying.
We keep them third world.
Let's just, but let's just say they were and we were doing this. Okay, I get it. I understand. We're trying to get them on their feet. We don't want them to be communists, whatever the reason. Fine. But they are very, very, very stable.
Oh,
they have their own stuff. They don't need us for this stuff.
Well, somebody's taking our money. That's what it's all about.
Well, I
Just
know
like
where
what they
Israel
do-
is.
Of
It's not a
course.
secret. I mean, they
they're
tell
not.
us.
Just like they launder money to Ukraine and it doesn't even go where it's supposed
That's
to.
another thing.
Somebody is pocketing all that money. And
Right.
and they're using the United States as a bank.
That's not a bank. They're just taking money. What they're doing
using it as
is
a bank. They're taking our money and that's it.
they're taking the loan and defaulting.
Yeah, of course. Wow. That's
what it is.
That sounds.
It's not even a loan. We're just giving it to them. We're donating it.
I know.
I-
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's been happening for years. And when these politicians are sold out by the entity you're talking about, they ain't going to do anything.
No, because they can't. Somebody, I don't know what it was, but they were talking about it, and they were saying that this was their opinion of what happens. They think that this person gets elected. They're all like, "Oh, I'm gung ho, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that," and then here comes AIPAC and says, "Hey, and they lobby them and they say, hey, we would like you to do this, this, and this for us, and we'll give you all this money to be able to do these things." And then they refuse. And then they say, fine, we're going to take this money we were going to give to you, and we are going to campaign against you any way we can, and we're going to get a different candidate, and we'll get them elected because we have all this money and you don't.
Well, that's what AIPAC does.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking happens.
And that's what.
And that's why these people can't do anything. They get hand-tied.
Of course, and right, and that's what happens. And if you go against the grain, they'll say you're a child molester. They'll label you anti-Semitic. They'll label you a racist.
Yep.
Because you're going against the grain. You're going against their money. And you're absolutely right. I mean, that's the problem with special interest that comes in and buys out our politicians. We talked about that last time. We talked about nobody's running on a campaign to ending special interests, do they?
No, and it's not just AIPAC, by the way. I'm talking. This is any lobby. We need. Oh my God, what's it called? Government reform?
We need
legislative reform.
Okay, we need a type of reform that's going to make sense. I'm not talking about the Communist Manifesto or far leftist reform.
No.
We need a reform that you're talking about, especially the get rid of the lobbies, get rid of the special interests.
Right.
How do you present that to these politicians that are all... See, these politicians, you ever watch NASCAR when the driver comes out and he's wearing all the
sponsors.
all the sponsorship.
Yeah.
That's what these politicians should be like.
Yeah,
Every time they come
exactly.
on TV, they should have all their sponsorships on.
Yeah,
there.
so we know
Yeah.
where their money's coming from.
Right.
So-
Enron back in the day, Halliburton, ExxonMobil, military-industrial complex, Rand Corporation.
Yeah, you name it.
You name it.
But here's the thing on
APAC.
that. You're saying, how can we stop this? Well, we're going to have to start getting these guys out, electing different leaders. Maybe, let me be so bold as to say, perhaps we need a third party.
Oh, you just read my mind.
Jeez.
We do need a third party. And you know what? If you're just watching today, you're going to hear third party come out of my mouths for the next
For the next century, until we die.
7,000 years.
Yeah.
Because we do need a third party system, not one that's going to be controlled by Elon Musk, not
No.
one that's going to be controlled by
Anybody.
anybody, just
But us, the people.
an organic third party that is tired of the corruption in Washington. And another thing I'm tired about is this pardon politics, this left-right game.
Yeah, it's
They-
ridiculous.
They do it with school shooters. They do it with going to war. They do it with domestic policies. They play this left-right game that Democrats for 4 years were okay with authoritarianism. Now all of a sudden they're against what Trump is doing.
Which is authoritarianism.
Which is authoritarianism. But when they do it, it's okay. See, I'm tired of that type of
Yeah,
shit.
I am too. And people forget that.
Right.
Well, Trump's in there right now doing it, so we've forgotten about
Well-
what anything that Obama did.
Right.
And I actually liked Obama, but he did some stuff that I was like,
Well,
what?
I talked about last week how he continued the National Defense Authorization Act and the John Warner Authorization
Right,
Act and
right.
the banker bailouts,
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
he also, you know what Obama did through Obamacare that really sucked dick? Was he destroyed the small business of like doctors, where that bill forced like mom and pop, like a small doctors to actually go on board with like Henry Ford and
Oh, okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm. With the bigger conglomerates.
He basically had the bigger conglomerates come up and swallow up all the private small doctors. So totally, that was big business.
Well-
that's not socialism, guys. And that Obamacare was definitely not universal health care. It wasn't single payer. So you can't say that's socialism. What he did was give basically a license to the insurance companies to run the show. The insurance companies and the multinational corporations. So more merger of state powers and corporate powers.
Well, he knew he wasn't going to get universal health care through. He just wasn't going
that
to.
single payer
So he
is
had to
more
do
socialized.
So he had to do something, and I'm glad he did something because people that didn't have insurance were able to get it. But yeah, you're right. There were some things in there that are bad. Like I said,
that he gave power to the insurance companies.
right, and like I said, I mean, he wasn't perfect or anything like that. He did a lot of things that I do not agree with. But I mean, on the whole, he was better than. But then again, better than is not better. We need to do better than that. We need to get a third party. I mean, both of these parties are corrupt. They just are. It's just unfortunate. And that this is the way it's turned out with these lobbyists and what have you. So we need a third party, and we need to get rid of lobbyists.
And that's what we're running on. That's our campaign.
Yeah,
Vote for none of the above.
that's right. None of the above. Yeah,
We're
What's that?
going to wear
Brewster's
hats.
Millions.
Right, we're going to wear hats next election. We want you to spread
None of
the
the
news.
above.
Vote for none of the above. So now,
Well, you know what? Now would be a good time to.
take a break.
Yeah.
He needs to talk to Netanyahu.
Okay.
I'm on the phone. I'm waiting. Here we go.
Netanyahu.
Welcome back, and we want to start off this segue with Ukraine. Some old habits are hard to break, right? As we were watching a video yesterday, we shared, and we were talking about how, and I brought this up a few months ago, that the longer this war keeps going on, Ukraine doesn't have much to offer. Or I actually, they don't have much to bargain with because they're losing so much. And so many people are dying that they need to come up with something really soon before they lose their whole country. And this is what I think, and I said before watching that video. Now, I guess Russians are getting ready to mass a major offensive into Odessa. If they take Odessa, from what I understand, Ukraine will cease to exist because they won't have a seaport. And like I said,
they'll be landlocked.
months ago, they should have offered. They should have bargained something, because now they got nothing to bargain with.
Well,
How many people have died?
they said that Ukraine had like 40 million people, and now they're down to like 23 million or something like that. This is horrible. This is bad.
Look, I question everything. Is that number for real?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
So that's 20. I'm sorry. That's 40% of their population.
Well, I mean, they were saying that like every time Ukraine tries to go on the offensive, like Russia just decimates them. Like 80 like one battle was 80,000 people gone.
So from what I understand, out of every one Russian soldier that's died, 20.
20 to 1 they were saying.
I said this back when we started our podcast, and he was my asshole of the week. Zelensky, I know he's a puppet. Zelensky should have bartered a deal when he had to.
I don't understand why he's the asshole.
Well, he's the puppet that
He's the puppet. What?
He's the puppet because
Putin,
the people behind the scenes. Well, hold on. I'm not talking about Putin right now. Let me talk about what I told you months ago, and this goes back when Biden was president. There was a deal made between Ukraine and Russia, and Ukraine was told not to take the deal. That was Boris Johnson. So I don't even think
that's
okay. We're going back when Boris Johnson with the other president with a bad haircut.
Yeah. Okay.
So
from England.
Yeah. So now they got nothing to bargain with, Dean.
You know what I think?
They got nothing.
He did that because
and we keep wasting money.
His first name is Boris. Anyway.
Boris, Natasha.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a war that should have never happened. We want to keep our missiles here. Why? Just move your missiles. Oh, now we will look weak if we do that. Who cares? And then those 20 million people would still be alive. Because we looked weak. Nobody thinks that America is weak. They don't.
No,
I mean, they might say that, but nobody actually thinks that.
No.
There's no freaking way. Now, with all our bases and all our weapons and all our military that are all over the world, there's no way. I'm so this whole thing should have never have happened. Never.
And like I said, this isn't something that just happened 5 years ago. This goes back to 2007, 2008.
It goes back to 1940.
Well,
6.
Well, you can even go into the 90s when the
40s.
America and the West had an opportunity to bring
I take
Russia
that back. 89.
Well, okay, yeah.
89. That's what I meant.
America and the West had an opportunity to bring Russia into the international community. They didn't.
Right.
Because, like I said, they want their resources. There's an entity, like not only George Soros and non-government organizations, there's others who want to take apart Russia and take their resources. You can't treat Russia like a redheaded stepchild. Russia's not Iraq. Look what they've done to Iraq. Oh. They're splitting Iraq up into groups. Look what they're doing to Syria.
Syria, yeah. This is bad.
Israel and Turkey now are dividing up Syria for each other. And like I said, they have good old ISIS and Al Qaeda, that goddamn communists and Qaeda in charge of Syria. So now they got them in charge, and they can do whatever the hell they want because they love sectarian violence. It's just a way to divide up people more. But you're not going to do this to Russia. You're not going to divide up Russia the way you've divided up Yugoslavia, or it's not going to happen. And this is what some people think they can do.
When the Soviet Union fell, I remember I was selling furniture. I started selling furniture in 1994. And the big deal was, holy cow, now Russia has all this wood because they had the Siberian forests and everything, and it was opening up to where they were chopping it all down. They're going to make furniture or send it to us to make furniture or sell it to Canada to make furniture, right? And what a great story that was. And I thought, wow, this is so weird. I had just gotten done in '92 4 years in the service, and the Soviets were our biggest enemy. Now I was like, this is great. They're now our allies, and we're going to be having better trade relations and everything, and we can get rid of NATO. And none of that happened.
Boy,
none of it.
You were smoking hashish, weren't you?
Right. And then I tried to look up. I said, did Putin never try to join NATO? And the answer is yes.
I think in
But
'99.
Clinton-
Yeah, Clinton said no.
No, not 99.
I think.
It was,
I know what you're saying.
Clinton did not say no.
Well-
He says, I don't see why not.
But then
And then something happened. I don't know what.
Because the bosses called Clinton in the middle of the night and said, "Look,
Oh.
you're not going to do it because Governor Ventura said so." No, because they called him and said, "Look, that's impossible." But I know what you're saying because Putin did go up to Clinton and say, "Look, we want to be a part of NATO," and they denied it. At the end of the day, that's what they did. They denied Russia because they want to take down Russia and take their frickin' resources.
But here's what should have happened. No, you cannot join NATO because we're going to dissolve it. That's what should have happened. That's, I mean, pure and simple. Why do we still have NATO?
You know what? That might have been the answer Putin might have been looking for.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Because he is a chess player. And because, I get what you're saying, but that told Putin there that, I'm going to have problems.
Yeah.
Because NATO,
Yeah.
we see what they're doing. They're expansionists.
So then we keep NATO, and like I said, okay, and Putin says fine, but don't cross this line here. And then we cross the line. And there's no reason to, because me being my military background, even though I got out 33 years ago, I know that we can fire ballistic missiles from anywhere in the world and hit anywhere in the world.
Right.
So, and that was 33 years ago technology.
Right.
So now, I know that we can still do that. So I don't understand this, we need to have our missiles over here too. And then, like I said, all we had to do was say, okay, we'll pull it back and no problem. And then now we'll look weak though, so we can't do that. It's just the dumbest thing ever. This is who's got the bigger dick, right? It is. That's what it is.
So in 1962, Nikita Khrushchev. Right?
I've heard of him.
He
had a shoe.
He put missiles into Cuba.
Right.
It almost started World War III. But what our media didn't tell you is America put missiles into Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
America
right.
kind of, they didn't. Our media, of course, didn't talk about that.
Well, why
Now,
would they?
I don't know what came first, the propaganda, right?
Yeah.
The Western propaganda machine. It's still around. Surprise.
Yeah.
So I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? I don't know who put missiles first. We were taught living in America that Russia did.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in Russia they're
They were
like,
taught.
you put missiles in Turkey. We remember, comrade. It wasn't very nice.
I know that there were missiles in Turkey because that was part of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah.
They said, fine, move your missiles from Turkey,
They didn't, right.
and then we didn't do it.
Right.
And then I think Bobby Kennedy was part of that one where he says, well, we can't do that. And, well, you said you were going to. And he goes, well, you heard that in error. He said, no, we didn't say that. And then they said, well, then move them now. And oh no, then we'll look weak.
Okay, so
Unbelievable.
He said that too.
So let's risk World War III.
Right.
Because our nuclear Armageddon, really not World War III, but nuclear Armageddon, because we don't want to look weak.
And hence, fast forward today, and we're back where we started.
And you can make this look. Hey, you know what? Let's say I'm NATO or whatever. Or let's say I'm the United States and you're Russia, because you can do the accent. But let's just say that.
That's why I'm Russian.
Hey, listen.
Good choice, comrade.
Right. Listen. How about we do this? How about we go on TV and we just shake hands and say we have decided to pull back from here, and they're going to pull back from here. That's it.
It's a show.
Let's have a show and stop it. Stop it.
They've done that many times. There's shows all the time.
Yeah, but this show would have saved 20 million lives at least.
You're talking about fast forward today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why not just do that, and then we don't have these problems?
I'm just still astonished at 20 million Ukrainians.
Well,
I said, is that number real?
Has it been 3 years, 4 years?
Well, they did.
When
You
did they
watched
bring
the
it
same video I did, and
When did they
the war really started in 2015 with the Maidan massacre, and once they took out Yanukovych.
Let me look this up.
It's been going on for about 10 years, but the last 4 have been the worst.
Right.
Last 3 since the offensive, since Putin went in, it's been worse. Although, watching the video, there were 42 million Ukrainians, and now they're saying there's 25. That's 50% of their population is dead.
Yeah.
But yet we have people that are still saying they can win this war. No, they got to come to the realization that it's over. You have to save more lives. They don't give a shit, but we know what it's all about.
Well, okay, so this was from February. They say nearly 1 million.
Okay,
But that's not what that video said. But,
no,
but that doesn't mean that video was right either.
Well, hold on. That video, I think, is going back 10 years, too.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
the war is
Okay. From 14?
well, we're talking from 14 and 15.
Okay.
You know, some people that are asleep and just woke up the last 3 years go, oh, hey, you know, there's a damn war going over there on the Russian. Yeah, well, this war has been going on for years. It's just kind of getting popular the last 3 or 4 because Russia's actually using more. They were playing with one hand tied behind their back. They were fighting with one hand tied behind their back. Now they're actually really fighting. And this is the outcome of that.
Well, it doesn't matter what the number is. One is too many. This just should not have happened.
No, and where does it stop? Well, when you have people who are a part of NATO and who are a part of the European Union, and definitely most of Europe and England and France want to continue this war, it's not going to stop. And what's their agenda? To make more money. Right, I'm sure they're embezzling money. They're still laundering money.
Money is way more important than lives.
Of course, and resources.
Same thing with like the guns. When lives become more important than guns, then they're going to do something.
Well,
that's what. Well, it's unfortunate, but I mean that's what's going on.
I know. Look where we're at today. It hasn't stopped, and I don't see it getting better.
This has been a gloomy podcast.
I know it has. The second we sat down,
the subject matter is just
right. I know. We do want to change the subject. Last week we were talking about the ice wall.
Yeah. I watched some videos on that.
Did you watch any videos on that?
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah.
I did too. I didn't understand any of them, but I'll try to explain it.
I understand it a little bit.
No, there were some. I mean,
it's hard to believe.
It's crazy that the flat Earth people, really, believe. I don't know what to believe anymore. I really don't. The rabbit hole is deep. Like I said, we were brought up to believe many things that aren't real.
That's true.
So who's to say that this is not fake and it's real? I don't know. Well, you said your proof was when you were in the military or in the Navy, whatever device you were using that went 12 miles. Oh, my only living proof is that I boarded a plane and went 35,000 miles in the air. And you see the curvature of the Earth. But what they're trying to say is that's an optical illusion. I'm not going to try to explain that.
No.
They say.
Well, they can say what they want.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what
it's still a free country so far. Sort of.
Good luck. Until there's military troops on the streets of Monroe and Detroit.
Yeah, it could happen.
Well,
I don't see why it wouldn't.
You know what I hear?
It's a blue state.
And now, blue balls. So you know what I hear now is he's getting ready to go into, I don't know how true this is, Chicago is the next city?
Yeah.
And what is this, like the...
he says it's a killing field.
The Trump world tour?
So
is
far...
Is this like his version of like...
Yeah. I mean...
World tour?
He's going to conquer...
DC. You go into the District of Criminals, okay?
Yeah.
Now you're going to go to Chi-Town.
Yep.
Who's next? Who's next on the list of military on your streets?
Well, here's the thing, because he says he's against crime, but there are cities that have more crime per capita than Chicago. I mean, Little Rock, they have more murders per capita.
From what I hear, he hasn't left red states out of the realm either.
Not yet. He's going to do the blues first.
Well, he's
going
to sing the blues.
Once again, I am not so naive to think, he's only going to go after blue states. No. After the blue states, he'll go in, and of course, he seems to think that once he deals with all these blue states and cities, that when he goes into, let's say, a city like Little Rock, he in his mind will think that the people of Little Rock will be lining the streets cheering on the National Guard when they come in. I don't see that happening. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
he is
yeah,
that's the way he thinks.
Well, that sounds like the Bush-Cheney crime syndicate. We're going to
Right.
go in there to Iraq, and we're going to be treated like winners,
Like heroes.
Yeah, right. Just like when
liberators.
just like when Jesus went into was it Jerusalem, and they started throwing palms at his feet.
Yeah.
Then a week later, they crucified him.
Yep.
So look
Same
how
people.
good that turned out.
And
Nevertheless, I this worries me because it's a slippery slope. And like I said, there's things I like. I don't like this one. I don't like the military on the streets
No.
of the United States of America.
This
Why don't you
terrifies
hire
me.
more police officers? Good union jobs.
Yep.
Give them great pension, great benefits. And you want to know something? I'll tell you why there's more crime. Okay? Hold on.
Huh?
This is why there's more crime, and this is playing a part. Because when you pay your police shit and they don't have a pension,
Oh, you're right.
they're not going to work for what? For peanuts? When they can probably make more money at Dunkin' Donuts than they do policing the streets? And we're going to have bullets shot at us, and I don't have a pension or I don't have good insurance?
Right.
What do you think's going to happen? Start paying these people good, and you're going to have a better outcome. You have more people who are going to apply for these jobs. I'm opposed, and I'm for the posse comitatus. You know, that prohibits the military from domestically policing us.
Right, and you're right. Let's pay these guys. Pay them. What's wrong with that?
I
Well,
know, I know ex-cops.
This Trump administration would rather pay ICE agents to go harass people that are waiting. They're waiting for their visas. That are going in the right way. That's more important.
I don't have a problem with ICE agents.
I do.
I have a, we differ on that. I don't have a problem with ICE agents deporting people who shouldn't be here.
That's fine. I'm talking about people that are doing it the right way.
Military is
though.
different.
Yeah,
Military is different.
But I'm still
we
saying,
agree on that.
Yeah, but I mean, these people are waiting for the. They come in. Okay, we're going to let you stay here. Here's your visa. Or here's your green card, whatever you got, and you need to come back here in 2 years, and we have to hear your case again, right? So then they go back in 2 years, and who's waiting for them? ICE agents, and they arrest them and deport them.
Like I said, I don't have.
That's ridiculous.
I don't have an issue with ICE agents.
I
have
do.
an issue with
That's
the
so
federal
stupid.
government militarizing our streets.
That too, though. I do have that problem. What I'm saying is, you're paying these ICE agents an exorbitant amount of money when you're not paying the police.
Okay, well, they should be paying the police. I
agree.
already made my comment about that. And how
I agree.
felt, and that was my opinion.
But
if you
there's
don't like it,
that's
shut
where-
up and I'll give you
but
my
that's-
opinion.
But that's where the money's going.
I get it.
It's
Okay.
insane.
Now let me go back to what we were talking about last week. How basically our local law enforcement has been militarized.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And they used
tanks.
well, hold on. They used the war on drugs, which was started by Nixon, as an excuse to militarize our local police departments.
Mm-hmm.
So they've already kind of been there. They've already training our. It's funny when something happens and police officer kills someone, people get outraged. They don't get it. This is how they're trained. They're
It's true.
trained like the military.
Well, you know
so
what?
kind of like our local law enforcement is a paramilitary because they've been trained by the federal government to be militarized and trained like the military. That was a problem too.
To a point.
But now we've skipped all that and we've gone straight for the military.
So
And now it's only in D.C. It hasn't happened in Chicago yet. It could be hype.
L.A.?
I don't know. Oh well, I haven't heard anything about Los Angeles.
they're still there.
Are they still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have military soldiers on the street in the District of Criminals. They should go raid the Capitol. That's what I say. Then we have the District of Then we have the military on the streets of Los Angeles,
Yep.
and now they're contemplating Chicago.
Right. They're not contemplating. He's going to do it. He just doesn't.
Is it a matter of time?
That's not telling us when he's doing it. That's all.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but you're
No,
saying
but
it's
it's going to happen. Yeah, he said he's going to. He's going to do it. Here's a bold prediction. I think Trump will be dead between February and June of next year. And the reason is, I saw this.
Okay, what's the punchline?
There's no punchline. I saw this video.
There's the
You know-
punchline.
No, okay, so you know how he's got the swollen ankles and the bruising.
You think he's dying?
Yeah.
He's sick.
There was a doctor. He went on. I have it in here. I'll show it
Dr.
to you.
Mangala, we're back to
No,
Dr.
no. This guy is
Fauci?
a cardiologist. No, nobody. I never heard of this guy.
I'm fucking with you.
Okay, well, he's a cardiologist, and he said that those are the telltale signs of congestive heart failure. And he says sometime between February and June, if that's indeed what he has, he should be dead.
So I did hear somebody in alternative media mention something about Trump's health. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's a little truth to that. I don't know where'd you hear this from which the doctor? Was it online? Or
It was online.
Okay. Now I did hear this in other.
Well, there was another one too. So he's not the only one that said it.
I did hear this in other news media outlets or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe there's a little truth behind it, but that's a bold statement to make.
Well, that's why I said I'm going to make a bold statement.
I'll make another one, not on Trump, but one with Ukraine. I think, and I think I've said this before, if they don't sign some type of peace agreement by the end of this year, that America's going to wash its hands clean and let Russia go and annex all of Ukraine.
I don't see how that's
Now,
not going to happen.
This wasn't a part of the plan. But now, I had my asshole of the week, the head of the NATO, and this is why, okay, and because this really bugs me, because they've had many opportunities to end this bullshit. Now you're risking losing your whole fucking country. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, that's a possibility that could happen. But your prediction, and I've heard somebody say that Trump is not doing good.
Right.
I don't know how true that is, but
I don't
I've heard
either.
it from
I don't either.
one
This
or
is
two-
this is so like I said, it's a bold prediction because it's not even my
Well,
prediction.
we've predicted some things that have happened on here, so don't be surprised if
Well,
something like that happens.
here-
Nothing surprises me anymore, but I don't know.
So now I'm wondering,
And maybe they'll kill him.
maybe, I don't know. Now I'm wondering, let's say that
I
happens.
hope not.
Let's say that happens.
Well, that would be the elite. That would be an inside job.
Right.
Nobody like you and I can get to somebody
No.
powerful like that. You got to believe that, and you believe the lone gunman, and then you believe Lee Harvey Oswald. That was
Right.
all bullshit. That was a
Right,
part of
right.
the narrative.
Right. But anyways.
I don't want anything bad to happen to him. I'm just saying.
Oh, I don't
And-
want him to
and
die.
that's- And I don't hate him. And like I said, I'm in the middle. There's some things I like, some things I don't. The military policing the American people, don't like it.
I don't like him as a president. That doesn't mean I want him dead. I don't like the way he's doing things. I mean, it's very authoritarian. It looks fascist. I mean, he's turning ICE into almost like his personal Gestapo as far as foreigners go. I don't like this at all. But he is a human being, and I don't want him to die. I mean, if he dies from congestive heart failure at 80, I mean, people in his age group,
Well,
that happens.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I mean, that just happens. But
I'm going to tell you right now,
Mm-hmm.
people will think that he was murdered if that happens.
probably, I mean, all kinds of conspiracy theories could happen again. But here's the thing. Let's say that happens. So now we have President J.D. Vance. Now I'm wondering which J.D. Vance are we going to get? Are we going to get the old regular conservative Republican that he used to be, or are we going to get the sycophant that he is right now? I mean, and he'll carry on with what Trump was doing. I'm just wondering, and it's very scary to me. I don't have very much confidence in J.D. Vance whatsoever.
I don't, like I already told you what's going to happen. J.D. Vance will run. Now,
Well, yeah, I know he'll run, but
I'm telling you, I truly believe. I made a prediction too that I think that there will be an independent that's going to
I
become
hope so.
president.
I hope you're right.
But I don't think he's going to be what you think. He will be compromised.
Okay, but compromise how? That's what I'm
He's
saying.
compromised in either far left or far right matters.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not going to be what you
Far-right
want.
matters.
It's not going to be somebody that's going to be a real independent and a maverick that's going to tell both
No, no,
sides
no.
to shut up. You're acting like children.
No, that's not even the question I was bringing up. What I was wondering which J.D. Vance are we going to get? Because, I mean, he used to be
Okay.
a regular
all right.
conservative Republican.
You didn't listen to what I said. I'm not talking about J.D. Vance.
But I was.
I know, but
You just went off on this.
but what I'm saying is J.D. Vance is not going to win.
No.
Yeah, you're saying if he becomes president.
Nope.
I'm not worried about J.D. Vance.
You didn't listen to me.
What the fuck
You
are
know
you
what?
talking about?
You know what? Now I'm Ross Perot. You're not listening. Can I finish?
Hold on.
Can I finish?
And we thank you for your support.
What I said was, if Trump dies, he becomes president.
Okay.
Which guy are we going to get? Are we going to get the old J.D. Vance that said that Trump was a Nazi? Or are we going to get...
Are you serious?
That's what I'm asking. I'm wondering
That's
what...
not going to happen. He's not going to go against...
That's what I'm
yeah.
That's what I'm asking you.
He's not going to go against the grain. I
Well,
don't think so.
but here's the thing on that.
He's not going to. But you got to understand, when J.D. Vance was running for president, look. They all do that. They all go against the person who was president.
Well, I know that, but-
they go after each other.
Well, I understand
so that's
that,
all.
but-
That's all political theater.
Yeah,
you know
I know
that.
that, yeah.
I don't see that.
But no, I was talking about his actions. I mean, he was a senator, right? Or a congressman?
I think. I know he was a lawyer.
Okay, but he was a regular conservative Republican. Is my point.
Supposedly.
Okay, let's say that happens and he's president. I mean, Marco Rubio, he's not going to act the way he's acting right now. He was never like this before. You know what I'm saying?
Marco Rubio. Yeah, I know. He's
Well,
on,
I mean-
he's on the payroll.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. These sycophants right now, I'm wondering if they're going to revert back to what they used to be. That's all I'm saying. That's just
I
speculative.
don't know, but I get what you're saying if he's going to die, but that's a hypothetical.
That is a hypothetical. I don't know if he's going to die or not. The whole thing is just hypothetical. I was just asking a question.
But then again, I don't know how I don't know if I should believe that medical report when they were saying years ago he's got Alzheimer's, and they were basically reading from Joe Biden's medical report.
They were saying that about Trump?
They were saying that about Trump, yeah,
Oh.
but it sounded more like Joe Biden. So this was about 3 or 4 years ago, and how
Okay.
he's getting sick, and so I don't know, but I did hear something a little about it.
Well-
but you don't have to worry because J.D. Vance, I don't think is going to, even if Trump dies or I don't think he will or whatever. I just don't think he's going to be president. I think they're
Well, if
grooming
Trump-
somebody else.
If Trump dies, he's going to be president. He's the
Well,
vice president.
I know that if he dies,
Yeah.
but that's
I hope not.
if Grandma had balls, we'd call her Grandpa,
That's true. I would. Well, we don't
and then
know.
she'd be a shooter.
You know what, though? I don't know. No. Once again, disagree. I just don't see that.
Well, that's the agenda. Whatever you believe.
No,
believe or
no.
not, that's the agenda.
Okay.
What's them part of
Now-
the MK Ultra program?
No.
They're going weaponizing these guys.
Dean,
But
on that part, yes. I just don't say.
They're weaponizing them.
Yeah, but you were saying that there's something wrong with it. I don't think there's something wrong with
I
them.
think that there's something wrong.
I know
with
you
most of
do,
these
but
guys.
I do not. I don't think so at all.
I think there's something wrong with most of the guys that look. If you were born a man, you're a man. If you think you're not, then there's something wrong. Just like if
Well,
if
yeah,
you're
there's something wrong,
okay,
but there's
hold on,
nothing.
hold on.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, if you're obsessive compulsive about something, there's something wrong with you too.
Okay.
All
right, but
I mean,
well-
we all have some type of mental instability.
Okay.
Everybody.
But
But to sit there say that they're normal, that's not normal.
But to say that, the way you said it, though, it was
I'm sorry.
in a bad light.
Well,
it really was.
I'm gonna say the same. I'm just saying that these guys are being targeted. They should be smarter. Okay, society is going after them the same way that they kind of brainwashed white males in the South years ago. The same way
They brainwashed them for what?
Well,
To do what?
Well, to be racist or whatever. You know,
they are
it's in
brainwashed.
the Bible, whatever.
Right.
It come on. We've all been, and I'm not saying everybody from the South is,
Right.
but
Okay,
this is
I understand
how
now.
this is how they brainwash people, just like they radicalize certain Christians, or they're radicalizing certain Muslims, or they're radicalizing. There's Jews that are radicalized. We've all been weaponized one way or another, and
Okay.
to say that they're not.
Okay, so now I feel better about what you said. But anyways, break time.
Okay, we'll be back. His she boyfriend just called him. Welcome back to Two Deans and No Waiting.
Okay, we're
And
back.
as we were on break, I happened to look at my news, and this just came up. Benjamin Netanyahu announces to plan occupying all of Gaza, which we know, and he wants to send Palestinian refugees to the West. So this goes out to the religious right, who likes to wipe Netanyahu's ass with their tongue. What do you think of that now, that your hero wants to send refugees from Palestine to the United States?
That's the Mike Huckabees of the world,
Yes,
by the way.
the Mike Huckabees that worship Israel.
Unbelievable.
So not only are they killing Christians and they're blowing up churches that have been around longer than this country, Now they want to send the refugees to the United States, to the West, which tells me not only Europe, but the good old US of A. They don't want the ones that are here.
I know.
I would like to sit one of these guys down and ask them that question.
I'm fine with them coming here.
I'm not fine with them going anywhere. It's not because
Oh,
I
that's
don't
true.
want
Well,
foreigners.
they
They should be
Yes.
in Palestine.
No, you're right. No, I
That's their
agree.
country.
No, you're right.
And to sit there and get these people off that land that they've been there on for what, 2,000 years?
something like that.
Right. Where's
longer.
the far right now? Where are the people screaming, we don't want refugees?
Yeah, they're the ones that. This is what I'm talking about, though. Israel can do whatever they want.
Sure they can.
They can do whatever they want.
Can you imagine if that was Muammar Gaddafi doing this?
Yeah.
They'd go crazy.
Yeah, Reagan bombed him for less.
You're right. Yeah. Well, he went
Well,
over
a
his
lot
house
less.
and bombed them.
He went to the house. Yeah, he killed Gaddafi's 2-year-old daughter, I want to say.
I know.
That was horrible.
Nevertheless, okay, and fast forward to today, and this was something that we were just talking about before we decided to tape this, thinking that they're a bunch of hypocrites. We don't want, which I get it. This country's not a hotel, okay? But now your idol, Benjamin Netanyahu, who you worship, is sending over refugees. Where's the outcry?
Right. It's what Israel wants. So the Christian nationalists, which is the right. What did you just call them?
The Christian
The religious
fundamentalists.
right?
Yeah, the religious right.
The religious right. Like
Where
I
are they
said,
at now? Why aren't they screaming bloody murder? You're letting refugees in from the Middle East because Netanyahu doesn't want them to stay in their homes?
And not only that, you're against Palestine.
Right, of course.
Which is ridiculous.
You know what serves you right?
Because of what it says in their Bible. Which is,
it doesn't say anything in the Bible. You mean the Schofield Bible, the one they changed?
well, I think that the English Bible has been compromised just through translation anyway. But
That's one thing.
But-
you know about the Schofield Bible.
Yes, I do know about the
and
Schofield
the
Bible.
Rothschilds and how
Yes.
they're getting Christians to basically accept Zionism,
yes,
which is not religious.
which is not true, and it should not be
That's it.
happening. And Jesus would not be happy with that. By the way,
No, Jesus wasn't a Zionist.
no, it's
He
amazing.
spoke Aramaic, not Yiddish.
Right, and in Greek.
Yeah, of course. he
Well,
spoke Greek.
actually-
well, everybody spoke Greek. See, 2,000 years
Yeah.
ago, it was like it is today with English, right? Everybody speaks English.
Right.
Everybody spoke Greek.
Right.
That was like the second language or whatever.
And I would argue that Jesus could speak any language he wanted to.
Well, yeah,
To be honest with you.
right?
But-
If
But
whatever.
But at any rate, if Jesus came down here right now to see all this, I don't think he'd ever stop throwing up.
No. How dare you say that? He would side with Netanyahu. Are you serious?
No.
He'd say, look, Jesus. He'd say, look. Hey, hold on. Let me tell you something, okay? Jesus, you're not the real Jesus. We're the real.
No.
We're the real Semitic people. We're from Poland.
Yeah, I was going to say, he'd probably say, get out of here, you Polak.
But I mean,
This is ridiculous.
I had to bring this up because you're always hearing, and I'm for closed borders and I'm for due process. So I'm not a leftist saying, "Oh, I'm throwing this in your face."
No,
but I am
understand
throwing
that.
it in your face, and I'm telling you that the person you worshiping now has made problems. He's making things much more difficult by sending refugees that have a home to our home.
Right.
So basically, we're going to pay double the tax dollars. And not only you're spending money to provide for Israel, but now you got to spend money to provide for the refugees that Netanyahu's sending over too.
Yep. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This is
Beautiful.
insane. Once again,
Netanyahu gone well.
Netanyahu.
So is there anything else you want to talk about? I just had to throw that in there.
No,
'Cause it seems like we're running out of time. I was going to have my asshole of the week, but my asshole of the week is NATO, of course, and Mark Rutte, who's the head of NATO, and I've talked about it, and I hate talking in circles, but like I told him months ago that they had an opportunity to bargain with Russia. Now Ukraine has nothing to bargain with. Okay, so you're my asshole of the week, Mark Rutte. All of NATO and everybody in the West who thinks they can beat Russia right now, you're losing. You're losing. Give up a little what you got before you give up everything. That's my my message I'm sending out to nobody because nobody's listening.
I would like to send a message out to the Christian right. How about, or the religious right, I should say, not Christian, because what they're doing is not what Jesus would be doing or would want you to do. I would like you guys to read your Bibles. And this is the parts I want you to read. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, because that's where Jesus is. Let's read that stuff. Let's not read the Old Testament. Let's not read all the books by Paul. Let's read what Jesus did and what he said. And let's learn from him. Instead of bringing all this crap up, well, we need to do this, or Zion needs to do this, or whatever. No, throw all that crap out. Read it. Try to live it. That's it. It's not that hard.
Well, you have anything else to say? That's about it, huh? We basically talked about
Everything.
some of the topics.
Some of it, yeah.
The shooting, of course, NATO, Netanyahu gone viral.
Again.
We talked about the Middle East. We talked about Ukraine. We had some domestic policies, too, in there. And, what I want to say is that you don't trust...
The government.
And not only the government, don't trust your spouse.
Don't.
And this is a commercial.
Don't trust.
Don't trust your
Don't
spouse.
trust the media.
Make sure she ain't cheating on you.
Just so you know, when I look at things, he'll tell me something, and then I will look, and I will find several different sources. I looked at Al Jazeera, and they were in agreement with what I was looking at. Several people. Don't just go to one source. Go to as many as possible. And don't go to the ones that you know are left or they're right. I looked at Fox News and Newsmax. No. You look at Fox News, Newsmax, CNN, MSNBC, Al Jazeera, BBC, whatever you can find, Pravda, I don't care.
And at the end of the day, it's all controlled by the Zionists.
Right. And if they are all in agreement, then more than likely that story might be true.
Depends on where you get it from. If you're getting it from the legacy media, no, I don't trust the legacy media.
Well, what I'm trying to say,
I
though,
don't
is...
trust the mainstream, CNN, MSNBC, Newsmax. What's the other one,
Fox.
too? That just not only Fox, MSNBC. Don't trust the corporate media. We
Right.
know that. That's why you have an alternative media anymore.
The reason they're called corporate media is because they're there to make money. It's a corporation.
And they want to stifle the real information because they
absolutely.
They definitely have their own agenda.
Like I said at the beginning, why don't you just report the news?
Yeah, right.
That's crazy talk. But what I'm saying is, though, and without reading the whole article or anything, if there's a certain news story and everyone is pretty much in agreement just with their headlines, more than likely that story may be true. So that's all I'm saying. But just don't go to one source. That's what I really... You don't want to go to one paper every time and say, because they also make mistakes and they have corrections and everything else. So just do some research on something before you go on a podcast and spout off like we do.
Boy, thanks. Now we're going to shut the lights off and go home.
Yep.
And eat crow, bitch.
Again.
All right, so that concludes our weekly show. And I do want to say, man, be prepared because always something's going to happen. Don't trust the government.